Guys, welcome to the I Am Guy Placement Reality Series, and in this video of the series, I am at FORE School of Management. I've got some students from FORE who have already placed for their summer internships and also for their final placements. So we're going to talk to them. हम देखेंगे कि कौन-कौन से companies आ रहे हैं FORE में, क्या salaries लग रही है, क्या roles हैं, और आपके और भी जो placement related सवाल होते हैं, सब कुछ इस वीडियो में आंसर करने की कोशिश करेंगे. So stay tuned and let's talk to them. मैं हूँ स्टूडेंट के साथ, सब सेकेंड ईयर के स्टूडेंट्स हैं. कैन यू गिव एन इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट योरसेल्फ? आपका अपना इंट्रोडक्शन, आपका बैकग्राउंड भी बताना, फिर आप कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में हो, कौन से कोर्स में हो FORE के, एंड वेयर डिड यू डू योर समर इंटर्नशिप, इफ यू आर प्लेस्ड, फाइनल प्लेसमेंट डिटेल्स एज वेल.
Sure. Hi everyone. My name is Rahul Eri. I'm from PGDM International Business Batch, and my second specialization is in marketing. I have done my summer internship at Sharda Motor Industries Private Limited, and I'm finally placed at Gartner.
Hello sir. Hello everyone. My name is Prerna Chandelier. I'm also part of the PGDM IB batch of 2025 year, and I did my HR internship at Wipro, and I've also received a PPO from Wipro as well.
Great. I would also request you to share. So, आपका HR था. What was your
Marketing
for final placements?
Yeah.
Great. What about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Aarti Gulia. I did my internship at Tata Motors in Mumbai. Then I am finally placed at Gartner in the field of marketing as market research specialist.
Great.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashima Dhingra. I'm currently pursuing PGDM BDA with my second specialization as marketing. My summer internship was in Pladis, and I am currently placed at Accenture as a business analyst.
Great. So business BDA is business data analytics.
Yes, yeah.
IB is international business, जो काफ़ी पुराना कोर्स है, और आप कोर्स से हो. Great, great. So ये स्पेशलाइजेशन, इसके अलावा एक और स्पेशलाइजेशन है
Which is the
फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट. ओके, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर इन FORE. नाउ आप पहले मार्केटिंग वाले आप बताओ. मार्केटिंग के दोनों गार्टनर में प्लेसमेंट है,
Right.
तो टॉक टू अस फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि क्या आपका रोल है फाइनल प्लेसमेंट्स में. व्हेन आई आस्क दिस, आप उसमें और सब्सटैंशिएट करना कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ, बिकॉज जितना मुझे पता है कि FORE में मार्केटिंग ज़्यादा रिनोन्ड था काफ़ी टाइम से, तो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रोल्स डू यू जनरली गेट, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कंपनीज केम लास्ट ईयर और आर कमिंग दिस ईयर. सो एज अ स्टूडेंट व्हाट कैन दे एक्सपेक्ट व्हेन दे जॉइन मार्केटिंग? क्योंकि व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग दिस इज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कॉलेजेस इन द सेम लीग. साउथ दिल्ली में IMI है, तो placements wise, what does FORE stands for? So,
Right. So talking about me personally, I have been placed at a market research specialist role. Market research is a field that is part of marketing, and it has always fascinated me. So ultimately, if you want to go into consulting, if you want to transition into consulting, this is a very good start. And as a marketing student at FORE, you can expect roles such as ASM roles in big companies like Asian Paints, ITC, and even BMW.
Okay, wow.
And the other would be the market research roles that I am placed in.
What are the other companies Gartner के अलावा?
Gartner के अलावा there are like even McKinsey visited us 1 to 2 years back, and then there are Accenture. My friend is placed there, and then I guess there is GEP, Berger Paints.
Okay.
So, like there is a plethora of
FMCG companies also come for.
Yes. FMCG is a very major part of the placements here for marketing.
So all big names.
Yes, all the
This
big
year
names.
Big Four has also come onto the campus as well.
For marketing.
Yes, for marketing as well. For marketing roles and for finance roles as well.
Great.
Big Four has been here.
Right. So, for example, Deloitte has come for like more than 5 roles, and it has included like finance roles as well as marketing too.
Understood.
Right.
तो आप थोड़ा अपना what has helped you to get this market research? Gartner is a big brand.
Right.
So market research गुड़गांव में ही है.
Right.
And I've seen the growth trajectory of people has been great. So what has helped you from FORE? क्या प्रिपरेशन था जो आपको कमेटी ने कराया या फैकल्टी ने करवाया जिससे आपको जॉब मिला? समर इंटर्नशिप का क्या रोल था, ये भी बताओ आप.
Right. So FORE put a lot of emphasis on research. तो research के काफ़ी मौके मिलते हैं. We have FORE International Marketing Conference. So I published a research paper there. So this gave me a substantial evidence to show the Gartner people कि मेरे को research आता है. Plus there is a lot of encouragement for case competitions. So FORE encourages us to participate in as much as case competitions as want, and it is even
case competition, corporate case competitions.
The corporate ones and the B school ones as well. So for example, if
आपने किसमें किया?
मैंने Asian Paints Cognoscenti में करा था, and I was a national winner. So it was a very good resume point as well as a learning point for me to how to conduct primary market research and secondary market research. So case platforms, research paper, and even faculties are very welcoming. So even if you have any doubt कि sir मेरे से ये नहीं हो रहा, there is an open door policy. So I believe all this helped me a lot.
How much time do you spend in campus then?
Right. So I believe in networking. So जितना मैं campus में रह सकता हूँ मैं रहने की कोशिश करता हूँ.
Congratulations on your placement.
Thank you so much.
So, sir, I received an internship from Wipro last year in my first year. So, I had prepared well about Wipro as
You
a
got a
company.
PPO?
Yes, I got a PPO afterwards. So, Wipro actually allows us to work on research areas. For example, my research area during my internship was employee engagement. So, they saw the quality of work that I presented. They saw the kind of inputs that I was giving them. So, uske baad they actually give us an opportunity to basically sit for the PPOs as well. So they, in the last phase of our internship, they take our interview as well. So in that, actually they judge if the candidate is suitable for a PPO position or for a PPI position. So I was fortunate enough to receive a PPO offer from them, and I was very happy because it's an HRBP role. I have a previous work experience in talent acquisition as well. So as we all know that FORE is majorly known for marketing, but this year, I believe from the first year as well, we've received great opportunities for HR in terms of internships, in terms of final placements. So there are great companies coming in for good packages for talent acquisition, for HRBP roles. And of course, Big Four also came for other finance and marketing roles. So I believe we are in a great position
But I have
right
a question.
now.
You are from the core.
No, I'm from the IB batch.
And you
So
are placed in HR.
because
So
I have dual
every
specialization.
core has okay. So
Yeah.
IB you can do HR and core
Yeah.
you can do HR.
Right. So we have
Yes,
dual
yes.
specialization. In IB, the IB part is fixed, but
Yeah.
we have the
Liberty to
flexibility.
take the other
वाले भी
specialization.
ले सकते हैं और
Yes, sir. Yes. So we have people in BD as well who have taken BD and HR, BD and marketing. So I think Ashima has BD and marketing with her.
But then if someone wants to do an HR like you wanted to
Yeah.
do HR, how do you decide which course to join?
So because for example, if Aarti belongs to the core batch, so if she wants to do a double HR, because at FORE we have the opportunity to take 2 specializations. So then Aarti would have the opportunity to either do a double HR or double marketing. But me as an international business student would only have the liberty to take another specialization, which I chose as HR because I already had a previous work ex in the same field.
And when companies came, like when Wipro came for HR, they were open to all specializations?
No, sir. Only for HR people. Yeah.
मतलब
Not
all courses,
open.
but
All courses. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So means there is not much of a difference when it comes to placements. is
Of
it?
course.
So there is umbrella placement. There is right. So there is umbrella placement. There is no difference between someone who has BDA with marketing and someone who is from core with marketing.
Understood.
So the company comes in and it says कि you should have marketing as a specialization. It doesn't look if you are a core student, if you are a BDA student. It is a level playing field.
Understood. थोड़ा आप ये भी बताओ जो what helped you, what was your background first of all, क्योंकि आपने HR में पहले भी काम किया है.
So I have been a commerce student throughout. I did a BBA as well. So after that, I wanted to work before pursuing my MBA. So I started doing internships in HRs, and I used to work in talent acquisition. But then I thought that after talent acquisition, HR is a very different field when it comes to core HR, as in when you're working for a company, you're working in internal hiring. So that's why I wanted to explore other branches. So that's when Wipro came in, and I thought it was a great opportunity because they're offering me an HRBP role. It's not talent acquisition 100%, which is something that I've already done. So HRBP is something that I want to learn in future as well, and then progress ahead.
I would want to pause you on that. HRBP role, great. We understand. But for viewers, can you explain what is an HRBP role?
So basically, when you're working with an IT company or in a services sector, so there are clients that you're working with. So there's a team in your own organization that are working with those clients. So it's your duty as their HR manager to partake in their actions and what is something that's bothering them. You look for the salary packages that they're dealing with. You look for the leaves and such. So basically, you're acting as an HR for that clientele partner or a business team that your organization is actually offshoring for other companies as such.
Understood.
Yes.
And what was your summer internship? मतलब उसमें क्या project था आपका?
So, for example, Wipro asked us to research on a particular topic. So, my research area was employee engagement. So, I had to research about how I can increase employee engagement scores in Wipro. So, what other policies I can suggest, what other measures I can undertake so that we can see that our employees are satisfied with Wipro and with the work culture. So, in my internship area, I had suggested a few policies to give them appreciation online. For example, they can given batches on LinkedIn. So these are some of the policies that I had actually suggested to the company as well.
Have you got your city, location of placement?
No, not yet, sir. Not yet, sir.
You also in market research? Could you
yes.
also what was your summer internship in market research में था?
My summer internship was the title was postgraduate sales trainee.
Achha.
But I worked in the marketing department.
Which
and
company?
Tata Motors.
Great. Great.
So I worked with Tata Motors, and my role was there to just research, and then I went on field to see if all those insights that I've gained are actually working or not.
मुझे इसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल में बताइए. टाटा
Yes.
मोटर्स फोर में काफ़ी रेगुलर रिक्रूटर रही है.
Right.
मैंने लिंक्डइन पे भी देखा है काफ़ी एलम्स अच्छे अच्छे पोजीशंस पे रहे. एंड FMCG हटा दे तो ऑटोमोबाइल ये सेक्टर भी
Yes.
इज़ वेरी गुड फॉर सेल्स. मारुति सुजुकी, टाटा मोटर्स, BMW आपने बताया. तो आपने क्योंकि समर इंटर्नशिप किया है, फाइनल प्लेसमेंट से बाद में आएंगे. कहाँ आपका जॉब था, इंटर्नशिप कैसा, व्हाट वाज द डे इन योर लाइफ लाइक, व्हाट कैन पीपल एक्सपेक्ट इन फाइनल जॉब्स इन टाटा मोटर्स, और कितना ट्रैवल रहता है, कैसे कैसे जॉब रहता है, पूरा बता दीजिए.
All right. So, as you've already said, that automobile sector does play a very important role at FORE. We have multiple companies visiting for finance plus marketing plus sales roles. So that's there. I cracked my. So there are multiple stages
Which
for
location were you placed in?
I was placed in Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So
in
that's
the head office.
Yes, in the head office. And for a month, I did my modeling exercise there. So I was given data from the Vahan portal,
Okay.
and I was identifying what are the potential districts
Okay.
for the Tata Motors in different regions.
Understood.
So just like the BCG matrix that we developed our own model
Understood.
there, and we tried to identify and we bifurcated the districts.
Understood.
And then for the later half of my internship, I was shadowing a area sales manager.
Understood.
And I was seeing what all work he does,
What
how
was
he
that like?
deals.
So which
Yes.
okay, in Bombay only.
I travelled to Thane for that.
Thane,
Yes,
okay.
in the regional office.
And what was the day like? What does an area sales manager do in Tata Motors?
So first of all, in the morning there are multiple sales executive allotted to all the managers. So they take the daily report that how you are planning your day. So that takes roughly around 2 to 3 hours, because there are roughly 60 to 70 sales executive with each manager. So that's the day planning. Then the reports are submitted to the higher level of managers, and after post the lunch, the reports are taken whether those targets are being achieved or not, or what kind
But
of
these
help.
sales happen to distributors, right? So
Yes.
every distributor has particular sales executives.
Yes.
And then one sales manager. कैसे बताओ?
Okay, so let's understand the model first.
Yeah.
So the sales executives are not employed with Tata Motors.
Understood.
Tata Motors has the managers. The sales executive are directly having the distributors managers.
Understood.
So they have to report to both.
ठीक है.
एक जो distributor का manager है and एक जो Tata Motors का
Perfect.
representative है.
Perfect.
So that's there.
अब अगर आप
And-
एरिया सेल्स मैनेजर बन रहे हो, स्टार्टिंग में जा रहे हो, या आपने जो शैडो किया, तो आपका क्या काम होगा उसमें? आप कैसे मैनेज करते हो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स के सेल्स को? क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली सेल्स हैपेंस टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स, राइट? इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
Yes.
तो वो आप कैसे मैनेज करते हो फिर? हाउ डज दैट हैपन?
So it is just that you have to overlook the role of all the DSCs, which are the direct sales executives. So you just have to encourage them, help them out, because there are multiple below the line activities that are planned.
What is
so
below the line again for people?
So above the line are the activities which are meant for masses, which are usually done conducted online.
ठीक है.
And below the line are the activities which are usually conducted offline. So melas, there are multiple corners which are placed. जैसे मंडी के पास हमने एक corner लगाया है. So that is there. There are shows. So trucks के shows होते हैं. So I worked with the commercial vehicle segment. So we had multiple events like road shows, and we had test drives. So these kind of events are facilitated by the area sales manager and his team.
अंडरस्टूड. और कितने एक एरिया सेल्स मैनेजर के बाद स्टार्टिंग में कितने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप या डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स होते हैं?
So the one with whom I was working, he had 3 distributors with him,
Okay.
and he had
So-
roughly
so सारे
60 to
थाने के होंगे?
65.
थाने के होंगे?
Yes, Thane, Palghar, nearby regions.
सो कितना ट्रैवल करना होता है फिर?
So it's like you don't have to travel much, because the distributors that you get, they are located nearby. But since I was based in Mumbai, so I had to travel to Thane, but I was given all the allowances and the traveling facilities, so it was okay. So that's there.
Guys, the main motto of understanding, watching these videos is I think कि आपको रूल्स पता पड़े, जिससे आपको पता पड़ेगा कि आपको क्या रूल्स मिलता है. सैलरी तो सेम ही रेंज होता है. अगर मैं आपको सच बता दूँ, वी नॉट डिस्क्लोजिंग एग्जैक्ट सैलरीज है, बट आई लास्ट अबाउट द सैलरीज लास्ट ईयर के डेटा बाद में. बट आई थिंक 70,000 मतलब इन हैंड आपका ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. 70,000 to 90,000 to 1 lakh. बट द काइंड ऑफ रूल्स इज वेर यू स्पेंड मोस्ट ऑफ योर टाइम. सो दैट इज द होल पॉइंट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग फ्रॉम दीज वीडियोज़. तो आप HRBP का भी थोड़ा बता दो कि हाउ डज अ रोल लुक लाइक. आपने बोला कि वो एक सेक्टर का होता है वगैरह वगैरह, बट व्हाट does he or she do on a daily basis, on a monthly basis?
So, sir, for example, I'll quote Wipro here.
जैसे आपका क्या होगा ताकि हमें पता
ठीक
पड़े
है,
FORE से आप कैसा
ठीक
expect
है,
कर सकते
ठीक है. So, sir, when I did my internship, I saw that Wipro helps their clients with various enterprise applications. So, enterprise applications includes services such as SAP, Oracle. So, these are some tech services that they provide to their clients. So, I saw HRBPs working with the teams that are working in these technologies. For example, there's a team of 10 people who are working with their clientele for SAP or Oracle.
तो understood. SAP, but
Yeah.
as an HRBP, Wipro is a big company.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sure
It
कि
is.
2-3 लाख लोग होंगे.
आराम से, sir.
अब
Yes.
आप उसमें से कितने लोगों का HRBP करोगे?
Okay.
और वो कौन से फंक्शन में होगा और what will
Okay.
you do for them?
Okay. So, sir, the amount of people under a coverage of an HRBP depends on the team manager
What-
and how much they
For
allocate.
you, what could it be?
It could be around, sir, 100 to 200 people.
Understood.
Not more than that, because I'll be starting out, so they'll be only giving me a small share of people first.
Perfect.
Then, of course, after you spend some time at Wipro, then they might increase your team size as well. So, basically, I've seen HRBPs work in Wipro for their salary negotiations, for their leave negotiations, in case they want to relocate somewhere else. So there's a proper clientele that they're working with, right? So the HRBP has to communicate with the client also that my employee is not, yes, because my employee is not comfortable working at that location. So is it all right if I send that person to another location? So basically we are doing proper HR, core HR for the employees that are under my coverage
But
in
that,
my
that
enterprise.
means that they're a
application.
single point of contact for
Yeah.
HR related
Yes,
issues for
yes.
all these 200 employees.
Yes, sir, yes.
Understood.
Yes.
Understood.
Yes.
And who should you think take this role? I mean, who is a good fit for this?
Sir, I believe people who are genuinely interested in safeguarding their employees, and they see how employees are correlated with the whole organization and how the team of employees form up a good organization. I believe a passion for human resources is very integral to take up this job, because if we look at talent acquisition, which is a very, I would say, one-dimensional job, because you're only helping hiring people for your own organization, and there's very limited amount of feedback that's available. But HRBPs, when you are able to gather feedback, you're able to provide feedback. So this is, I think, more 360-degree perspective that we're taking this job role for. So that is something that you can only learn. You can not gather just skills, because you'll have to communicate with other business partners, with your own team members, because sometimes your own team members will not even agree with you in case of salary negotiation, in case of location negotiations. So that's what we gather from our experience, is how to deal with the people.
Yeah, and I think you also need a little bit of empathy.
Absolutely.
Listening skills and
Yes,
patience,
a
I
people person is perfect for this job role, I
People
feel.
person तो sales वाले भी करते हैं.
Yes, sir. Yes, of
I think
course.
there you need listening.
Yeah, more empathy. More empathy is required.
Convince करने वाला people skills
Yes,
चाहिए, इसमें समझने वाला
absolutely.
people skills चाहिए.
So
Very
negotiation skills is something, another skill that we can also
HR as well.
inculcate. Yes,
Why do you say
absolutely.
that?
So because salary negotiations are there, not
तो
every
HR नहीं
person
करते हैं
is.
ना, वो तो talent acquisition है.
Yes, sir. But talent acquisition only deals with just one part of, because they act as point of contact when you just join the organization. But when you've been in the organization for a period of time, that's when you go to your HRBP partner that I'm not happy with my salary package currently in these past years. I want you to ask my manager to give me a raise.
Okay.
And that's
मैंने तो कभी
yeah. तो ये मैंने होते हुए देखा है, sir, during my internship. So that's when HRBPs come in after you've been in the organization for a specific period of time.
Perfect.
So that's when you go to your HR and ask कि भाई मुझे प्लीज़ कुछ तो रेज दिलवाओ आप.
Great.
इस अप्रेजल कुछ तो दिलवाओ, इसमें मेरा इस साइकिल में कोई अप्रेजल नहीं मिला. So that's a great negotiation strategy. That's when it kicks in.
पर आपका negotiation salary कम करवाना है.
Yeah, exactly.
सेल ज़्यादा करवाना है. Again, difference. मैं ये सवाल I'll come to Ashima. I know I've not talked to you. पर मैं ये सवाल आप दोनों से पहले वापस पूछूंगा क्योंकि कन्वर्सेशन हो चुका है. आप दोनों मार्केट रिसर्च में प्लेस्ड हो, बट I'll ask you who should join the sales बोलेंगे business development roles. जैसे इन्होंने बताया कि HRBP किनको करना चाहिए, तो who should join these roles?
If we talk about sales in particular, I think it's very important to have good communication skills and negotiation skills, because it's very hard to convince a person to buy your product or services. So I think it's very important if you work on your communication skills, and simultaneously you should believe in what you are selling, be it a product or a service. Until and unless you believe in the company's product, you won't be able to sell it. So I think it's very important if you work on both of these.
Understood. And what about market research? और थोड़ा ये भी बताइए, market research तो पढ़ाया भी जाता है काफ़ी भी स्कूल्स में, उनका कितना काम है? जैसे regression और ये सब what do you actually use from these schools in the market research role? I'm sure आप करोगे अभी,
Right.
आपने internship भी किया है तो थोड़ा आपको idea होगा.
Right. So at my internship, I was a strategy and transformation intern.
Okay.
So basically मेरे को एक mergers and acquisitions का framework बनाना था, मेरे को एक corporate strategy अपने design करनी थी अपने manager के साथ. So how research helped me, how the market research, what FORE taught me helped me was to मेजरली डू हाउ सेकेंडरी रिसर्च में आप कैसे डेटा ऑथेंटिकेट करते हो, कैसे डेटा एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हो, कैसे उसको क्लीन करते हो, कैसे उसको रन करते हो. सो बाय रनिंग द डेटा आई मीन्स व्हाट काइंड ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल्स दैट यू कैन अप्लाई टू इट. सो फॉर एग्जांपल दैट यू मेंशन्ड रिग्रेशन, नाउ वी हैव अ टूल SPSS. सो ऑल दीज पैकेजेस वी कैन यूज इन एक्चुअल रियल डेटा टू ड्राइव इनसाइट्स फ्रॉम इट. तो मार्केट रिसर्च में अगर आप सब कुछ क्वालिटेटिवली दे दो कि ये चीज़ ऐसी होनी चाहिए, ये चीज़ ऐसी होनी चाहिए, एंड इट इज़ नॉट बैक्ड अप बाय सब्सटैंशियल डेटा और स्टैटिस्टिक फिगर्स, देन इट्स ऑफ नो यूज टू द कंपनी.
But what tools are used? I mean, क्या जैसे Excel यूज़ करते हो या कुछ अगर आपको?
Right. So Excel is the bread and butter of the MBA students. Apart
R हो गया और भी SPSS. Do you use these tools as well?
Right. So not me in particular. I haven't used it, but a major chunk of people does use programming languages as well.
So it's not that technical. It's just
Right.
that you need to make sense out of data. and that's
Right. So I use SQL to drive libraries and data, extract the data. So थोड़ा वो technical चलता है.
और
But
गार्डनिंग में आपके clients कौन होंगे? आप मार्केट रिसर्च करोगे किसके लिए करोगे?
right. So it will be the major CXOs, CIOs of
Understood.
big companies.
So help them make decisions.
Yes. So Gartner has a product called Magic Quadrant. So Magic Quadrant में there are various technological products. जैसे AI का OpenAI का प्रोडक्ट है, Microsoft का प्रोडक्ट है. एक कंपनी है, कोई भी लेट्स से XYZ कंपनी, उसको कौन सा प्रोडक्ट अपनी कंपनी में इम्प्लीमेंट कराना चाहिए. सो दैट CXO विल रीड अ मैजिक क्वाड्रेंट एंड मेक द इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन. नाउ टू मेक दैट मैजिक क्वाड्रेंट देयर गोज अ सब्सटैंशियल मार्केट रिसर्च. सो दैट्स वेयर आई कम इन. आई डू द मार्केट रिसर्च एंड आई ड्राफ्ट कि हाँ OpenAI वाला थोड़ा ज़्यादा अच्छा चल रहा है. सो अगर मैंने वो बात बोल दी तो वो पत्थर की लकीर है, बिकॉज दैट इज गार्टनर.
गार्डनर में सेल्स के भी काफी लोग प्लेस होंगे फोर्स से.
Yes. So it was an account management role, not a.
Understood, but comes in the marketing and sales.
Yeah, it comes in a marketing and sales, and it has a very lucrative package as well as compared to market research guys.
अच्छा, उसमें पैकेज अलग है.
उसका package अलग है.
तो हर कॉलेज के कुछ बहुत लॉयल रिक्रूटर्स होते हैं, जितना मैंने देखा है. टाटा मोटर्स है, गार्टनर इज बीन अ वेरी लॉयल रिक्रूटर फॉर फोर.
Yes.
इट्स अ गुड, मतलब गुड़गांव में तो वन ऑफ द गुड कंपनीज दैट पीपल वांट टू वर्क विद. SDFC लाइफ भी काफ़ी रिक्रूट करता है मेरे ख्याल से,
Right.
दिल्ली के लोकेशंस के.
Right.
तो ये सब कुछ आप बता दीजिए नेम्स इफ यू.
Okay, so Deloitte, on top of my mind, there is Deloitte, there is ICICI, and there even is KPMG who comes in every year, and there is PwC, and some of the HR companies
Yeah,
who want
some of the HR companies is Wipro is there, and I think Air India will also come this year as well, and Indigo will also come for the HR role.
sector, we have a lot of banks visiting our campus. So I think there are some sectors which are very predominant in the recruitments. So I think banking, automobile, FMCG, research roles, consultant roles. These are some of the roles and companies which are very frequent when it comes to placements.
Great. Now we go to Ashima. She is doing BDA, which is analytics, which is a hot sector. पहले तो आप ये बताओ कि analytics वही है, मतलब क्या अलग है in terms of from other specializations or other courses in FORE, and then where you place your summer placement, how was that like?
So, BDA stands apart from other courses because we are taught all the technical skills. So, we are the people who are inclined towards analyzing data. We are the ones who are taught SQL, Python from the very start. In the programs that is core, FM and IB, it is not taught from the very initial start. So, हमारा mindset ही ऐसे develop होता है, like we have to analyze data, we have to retrieve data, and we have to make analysis out of it. So we have been taught SPSS, SQL, R, Power BI. You talk about any statistical tool, and we are taught that particular tool here at FORE. So I was placed in Pladis as a sales strategy intern. There I used Power BI and SQL tools. At Pladis I was responsible for creating a proper training program and incentive model. So for proper training program I had their previous data in which मेरे को incentives का पता था, मेरे को इनके structures का पता था, payment structure कैसे होता है. I knew their beats, beats. So beats is like, for example, I am going to Malviya Nagar market for day one, and I am going to Hoskas market for day one. So which market I am visiting on that particular day is my beat. Okay. So हर एक beat के according अलग-अलग targets मिलते थे, and ECOs was there, effective coverage of outlet. For example, I am visiting a store named Modern Bazaar at Hoskas, so that would be my ECO number 1. Okay. On the other day, if I visit that same store, it won't be counted as my ECO. So how many efficient coverage ऑफ आउटलेट एंड इफेक्टिव कवरेज, आप कितने अलग अलग आउटलेट्स कर रहे हो. सो आपका हर रोज एक यूनिक आउटलेट कवर होना चाहिए होता था. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट आई बाइफरकेटेड पीपल हु वर एबल टू अचीव 240 plus eco. They were categorized as good salesmen who were able to achieve that targets, and depending upon that उनके सेल्स का डेटा होता था. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट डेटा के बेसिस पे मैंने एक पूरा डैशबोर्ड क्रिएट करा था, एंड उस डैशबोर्ड के बेसिस पे आई डिज़ाइन द ट्रेनिंग मॉडल. सो
मैं इसमें पूछना चाहूँगा,
हाँ जी.
a lot of viewers might not understand जो डैशबोर्ड क्रिएट किया आपने, तो मतलब एक्सप्लेन टू मी दैट डैशबोर्ड की वो अल्टीमेटली मैनेजर्स कैसे यूज़ करेंगे, एंड फिर कौन आपने एक्सेल में काम किया, व्हाट वर द टेक्निकल थिंग्स दैट you needed to do this kind of a technical project?
So Excel में basically I use the VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP tools just to manage the data. So there were data eco का and whatever the sales and target they are achieving. So I created different dashboards. पहला dashboard मैंने सिर्फ ये बनाया कि कितनी OTP और कितना बीट वो कर रहे हैं. So उससे मेरे को आइडिया हो गया कि आज मैं अगर मालवीय नगर मार्केट जा रहा हूँ तो मेरे को मालवीय नगर की बीट से ज़्यादा हो रहा है, तो एरिया वाइज मेरे को पता चल गया. देन उसके बाद what I designed is कि मेरा एक सेल्समैन उस बीट से कितना टारगेट अचीव कर रहा है. तो उस बेसिस पे एक अलग डैशबोर्ड बन गया. अब हाउ द मैनेजर विल एनालाइज दैट, एक इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड होता है. इफ अ सेल्समैन इज डूइंग मोर देन 2 लाख सेल्स पर मंथ, ही इज कंसीडर्ड एज अ गुड सेल्समैन. और उसके अगर नीचे कर रहा है तो अगर हम FMCG पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें तो कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं होती. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट डिफरेंट क्राइटेरियाज वर सेट कि अगर मैं जा रहा हूँ 40 स्टोर जा रहा हूँ, 40 स्टोर से मेरे को 2 लाख का सेल्स डेटा आ रहा है, 2 लाख की मेरी सेल्स रेवेन्यू आ रहा है, उस बेसिस पे अलग अलग डैशबोर्ड्स वर मेड. देन उन डैशबोर्ड के बेसिस पे आई रियलाइज दैट सम एरियाज में देयर इज नो ट्रेनिंग, बिकॉज दीज सेल्समैन ये लोग वो लोग होते हैं जो सिर्फ 10th पास होते हैं. सो वी हैव टू टीच देम, बिकॉज व्हेन दे आर विजिटिंग मॉडर्न बाजार और एनी बिग स्टोर्स, तो वहाँ पे दे हैव टू सेल देम एंड दे डोंट नो द टेक्निक्स. सो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर मॉड्यूल ऑफ माई ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम these techniques were taught. How you have to present yourself, how to you have to present your sales pitch. That is very important because Platis is growing. So उस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट में जाना जहाँ पे अगर मैं एक दिन शॉपकीपर के पास जाऊँ और मैं अपना इंप्रेशन सेट करके आऊँ इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो दैट वॉज माई होल थिंग दैट आई डिड इन दिस.
कंपनी वाज दिस?
Platis.
Okay.
Macquities.
Okay. And अभी आप फाइनल प्लेसमेंट्स में कहाँ पे?
Accenture as a business analyst.
So analytics के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं.
हाँ जी.
इसमें क्लाइंट्स के इस तरह के प्रोजेक्ट्स को आप I think.
Yeah. I will be dealing with that. I am basically placed in supply chain and functional architect. So basically FMCG, FMCD के जो भी client facing role होंगे, if they are facing any inventory related issues or any issues in supply chain management, that would be catered by me.
Now who should join analytics?
So if you are a person who love numbers,
Dashboards
and languages, and definitely you are the one who can easily grab the technical skills, because it's very important to have that particular mindset when you are using that particular skills, and you definitely need to do hard work, because I come from BSc Life Sciences background. So all these languages were very new to me. So you have to start from the very scratch. So it's very important you are an individual who is very dedicated and passionate about it. So this is the thing.
Great. Now I'll come to the question which a lot of aspirants will have more, curiosity about. कि for your different courses, what is the average or mode salary that they can expect? Maybe last year कितना था? And what was the highest salary around जो आप expect करते हो? या last year था आप जो बताते? Let's talk some numbers, not your numbers, but which people can expect from the batch, right?
So the average salary would be around 15 to 14.
15 to 14 is the average salary for BDA.
Yeah, for
आप BDA. Okay, great. आप बताओ.
So if we just talk about all the courses, then since we have umbrella placements, so the averages also lie somewhere similar numbers are there.
14, 15.
So I think if
maybe
you're saying
अगर आपके कोर्स का अगर आप थोड़ा अलग से बता पाओ. if that is-
as per
same
my
range होता है.
yeah similar data, we share the same numbers.
Okay.
Because this bifurcation is not possible. अगर मैंने marketing करी as a IB student, इन्होंने marketing करी as a core student,
जैसा इन्होंने बताया अभी कि सबके लिए
we are placed at the same rule, we are placed at the same salary, so वो मैं bifurcate कर ही नहीं सकता.
Perfect.
But informally, if we see the trend, then BDA is doing very well from the past year.
अच्छा.
Like it was a relatively new course, and people were suspecting कि अच्छा करेगा नहीं, but it's doing really well. For example, last year the highest stipend offered was from a BDA student. So it was a company, Vikram Solar, and the highest stipend offered was to a BDA student.
And what final placement highest किसमें करेगा?
Final placement
For
में
finance companies, I believe so. For finance companies, I think we are receiving companies coming at 24-25 LPA as well for finance organizations. And this year for HR organization, there was this company. They had offered 17 to 18 LPA as well, which is the fixed component.
Thank you for these wonderful insights and answers. I'm sure people would have gained a lot. मुझे जितना समझ में आ रहा है कि आप डिफरेंट कोर्सेज में बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि लोग बोलते हैं ये कोर्स अच्छा है, ये कोर्स अच्छा नहीं है. फोर में उतना डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं है, पहले भी नहीं था. पीजीडीएम में ज़्यादा अंतर नहीं था, विच इज बिकॉज ऑफ द अम्ब्रेला प्लेसमेंट्स दैट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो आपको जिसमें इंटरेस्ट है आप वो ज्वाइन करो मेन. सेकंड आप ऐसे भी दूसरा ले सकते हो. सो थैंक यू फॉर दीज आंसर्स एंड होप टू सी यू अगेन. ऑल द बेस्ट.